Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
The Women of Color Foundation hosts its annual personal and professional development retreat in early April. The chairwoman, Alexandria Boone, is here to tell us more about this event and why it's important for women to participate. Later on, we'll hear from the Director of Gift Planning at the Cleveland Foundation, Terry Eason, and Wealth Advisor at Stratos Wealth Partners, Justin Horton. They'll tell us about the annual African American Philanthropy Summit, as it's called. And on the broadcast after that, the founder of the Virtual Schoolhouse and Schoolhouse Academy, Nikki Salfer, and Principal Michael Anderson will be here to tell us why this school differs from other charter schools. Good morning, I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and beginning with a friend. We go back many years.
Many years.
Back into our childhood.
Oh, let's not tell them how long.
We won't go back that far.
Right.
Back there.
Right.
Alexandria Boone, chairwoman of the Women of Color Foundation. Alex, how are you?
I'm okay, Leon. Happy to be here.
Hey, good to have you, too. Well, tell us about the Women of Color Foundation. What is it that you're trying to do? What's the Women of Color Foundation? What's the mission?
Well, our mission is to educate and train women and girls of color for leadership roles in the community and in corporations and nonprofit organizations so that we can change the world and expand the quality of life for people of color.
And you concentrate on women of color because they've not always been part of that, of the internal fabric of the workings
and that discussion,
of America.
Exactly, and that discussion. We started 12 years ago. This is our 12th anniversary, and we're hosting our event at Lander Haven this year. And women have been disenfranchised at certain levels, and Women of Color Foundation was founded on the premise that women are bright, intelligent, articulate, and committed. And you know, I always say men have ideas and women implement. So what we do is we are training women and girls to be leaders.
Yeah, well, good for you. By the way, I should add that News Channel 5 is a partner in this effort.
And has been for several years, and you guys have been a great partner.
It's always good to be involved with you. So you're going to have this personal and professional retreat.
Yes.
Which is coming up on April the 3rd and the 4th at Lander Haven,
right.
At Executive Caterers, which is in Mayfield Heights.
Right.
What's going to happen at the personal and professional retreat? Well,
this year we're completely changing our format, Leon. That's what makes this year's event so much more exciting than our past 11 events. In the past, we've had presenters and we've had panels where we may have a moderator and 3 or 4 women talking about a particular subject. Well, this year we're changing the format. We're going to have all presenters. No panels. We're going to have career coaches, lifestyle medicine coaches, people like Dr. Rachel Talton from Synergy Marketing and Strategy Research. We're going to have Dr. Ellen Burtz Cooper from Improved Consulting, Patrice Blakemore from Blakemore Consulting, and we have our annual Women's Health Summit, which is sponsored by Cleveland Clinic, and the moderator for that panel, though, is going to be Natalie Rudd, who is an RN at Cleveland Clinic, and she's going to talk about, you know, how we as women have to manage lifestyle, family, church, community, work, career, everything, and how we can do that and stay healthy while we're taking care of everybody else.
Reminds me of that old song, I Am a Woman, W-O-M-A-N, but I can do this, I can do that,
That's
I can do that, and
fry up the bacon in the pan.
I can do all of this and take care of the man, and all.
All of that.
That's what it sounded like when you could have sung that song.
Right, exactly.
What do you want the women to take away from this event?
Well, that's a great question, Leon. One of the things that we've done over the last 11 years, if we got people educated, motivated, and inspired, and then sometimes they go home and they don't do anything. So this year, we're going to provide career coaches, life coaches, community coaches, so that they can sign up to work with a coach and go and make change in their lives and in their community. So we want them to go away feeling motivated and inspired, but now equipped to make change.
Well, so now you got people knocking on the door saying, Alex, you got to get me in.
Right.
How do people get in?
Well, what they do is they can register online, or they can call the Women of Color Foundation. Our 800 number is 866-962-3411, or they can go to our website, www.womenofcolorfoundation.com. And we also provide scholarships. We never want people to not come to the retreat because they can't afford it, because it's not cheap, because what you get is a wealth of information, and oh my God, the contacts are incredible as long as you use them right. You know, you can
you got to follow up.
You got to follow up.
What's the cost to go?
Well, the cost, if you go to the whole conference, is $8.99, but that includes 2 nights at the hotel, or you can do $5.99 for 2 days with no hotel, or you can do $3.49 $1.99 per day.
And you can get everything out of this. I mean, you can
Everything.
get as much as you want. You can get out,
Hey,
but you got to show up.
We provide the education, bring your own container.
Alex, where do you find these lines? Let me write that down. We've known each other for many years,
yes.
and I know this has been vital. This has been a part of your life.
Absolutely.
Even before you started this,
Yes.
this thought process, this philosophy was in you.
Right, this is who I am, Leon. I don't sing, I don't tap dance. My mission, my ministry is Women of Color Foundation. You know, I am going to be turning 67 years old in a couple of weeks.
Is that right? Oh,
yeah.
how time goes by.
How time flies
Tell
by.
me about it.
And I want to, you know, be retired. I've said I was retired at 65, and then people started pulling me back in. So now I say I'm semi-retired. But the legacy for Women of Color is for it to keep going.
Yeah.
And so I want to identify women, and I want to keep this thing going because we're going to always need this kind of organization in the community.
How can the overall community support you?
Well, they can register. We have been very fortunate in that we've received grants from foundations, and we have some wonderful sponsors. Cleveland Clinic, Fifth Third Bank, PNC. We've had clients, I mean, we've had sponsors that have helped us keep this thing going. And American Greetings, you know, usually Renita Jefferson is here with me. We have Forest City, News Channel 5.
All of us.
Yeah, everybody is helping us because they believe in what we're trying to do.
You're one of our real heroes here.
Oh, thank you, Leon. I
Heroic
appreciate that.
woman here, Alexandria Boone, chairwoman of the Women of Color Foundation. You can go to womenofcolorfoundation.com, get everything, all the information on there, and there's a phone number on the screen right there. Write that number down. You can get more information on what we're talking about.
Yeah, and they can apply for scholarships online too.
God, you've got it all.
We try.
Alex Boone, many thanks, Alex. Good to see you, my friend. Log on to newsnet5.com each week to see what's coming up on Kaleidoscope. Up next, talking to African Americans about philanthropy after this. You're in tune with Kaleidoscope. The Cleveland Foundation hosts the African American Philanthropy Summit in late April. The Director of Gift Planning, Terry Eason, is here, and the Wealth Advisor and founding partner of Stratos Wealth Partners, Justin Horton, is here as well to tell us more about this annual event. Terry Eason and Justin, good to have you with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Tell me about, Terry, about this African American Philanthropy Summit, which is taking place. What is that?
Well, actually, you just said on April 26th, Saturday, we will be hosting our third biennial African American Philanthropy Summit. Its focus is inspiring 100 acts of African American philanthropy.
And this is sponsored by the Cleveland Foundation.
It's actually, yes, it is. It's actually hosted and established through our African American Philanthropy Committee. And this is an advisory committee that has been with the foundation since 1993. It was actually established and founded by one of our past chairman, Steve Mentor.
Oh yeah, and the Cleveland Foundation has been around for 100 years. It began those city foundations. It began right here in the city of Cleveland, those city foundations nationwide. So they know all about philanthropy and all of that. Justin, tell me about your role in all of this now. You're the Wealth Advisor and founding partner for Stratos Wealth Partners. What's your involvement in this now?
I'm actually the co-chair of the African American Philanthropy Committee this year, along with Connie Hill Johnson. I've been involved with the committee now for 6 years, and so this is my third summit, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone on the 26th of April.
Yeah. What are the benefits of African American philanthropy? What are you trying to tell people by having this summit on April the 26th?
Well, I think there are a few things we're trying to get across. You know, number one, we're trying to celebrate the giving that African Americans have already engaged in. If you look at the statistics out there, we're one of the most giving groups of individuals in the U.S. From an income perspective, as a percentage of income perspective. So we want to celebrate that, but we also want to have a call to action to encourage others to give, to help them understand their philanthropic mission and show them how the Cleveland Foundation can help them achieve that mission.
Terry, at the same time, this is also about building wealth and learning how to transfer that wealth.
Absolutely.
How to get that wealth into the next generation.
Precisely, and that is why the way that we've structured the summit is to not only first come in and learn about the importance of philanthropy, and that will be handled by our morning speaker, who is Dr. R.A. Vernon. He's, of course, the senior pastor
of the Word Church here in Cleveland.
Absolutely. And then we'll transition into 2 working workshops. One will be focused on what do you need to know about philanthropy? So there will be 4 separate tracks, one with emerging philanthropists, individuals, and family members, small businesses, and then the nonprofit perspective. And then the second workshop will be focusing on what do you need to know to actually take action? So there'll be how do you establish a fund, what do you need to do to give to an existing fund, and then how do you even set up a giving circle. And then finally, we'll transition into our culminating luncheon with Dr. Henry Skip Gates.
Henry Louis Gates, Skip Gates?
We call him Skip, but
Yeah.
Henry Louis Gates Jr., who of course, Dr.
Yeah.
Henry
Who is
Louis
world-renowned,
world-renowned, and
True.
also has a very strong relationship with the foundation in that he's the jury chair of our Annisfield Wolf Awards that we have annually. And so he will be there to provide us our featured speaker engagement during the lunch, and we're really excited about that.
This is going to be Saturday, April the 26th, starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and goes into the afternoon at Corporate College East, which is at 4400 Richmond Road in Warrensville Heights. Corporate College East, Saturday, April the 26th, starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be a big, big event. We've got a couple of minutes continuing. I want to continue with you. There is a misperception out there that you got to have a lot of money to start philanthropy or these kinds of funds.
That's right.
Speak to that, Justin.
That's right. Yeah, I think when we use the word philanthropy, people assume that they need to be Oprah in order to give.
There are very few Oprahs around.
There's only one that I know of. And that's really not the case. You know, if you look at the foundation itself, there are over 75 funds there currently that have been established by African Americans. So we give. You know, this summit is about helping people see that giving, but encourage them to do more and in a more efficient manner.
I have found that when I give, and I write checks throughout the year to various organizations, including Cleveland Foundation. I'm with Sigma Pi Phi fraternity. We've got a little thing going on at the Cleveland Foundation as well. But I find when I give,
Yes.
it comes back to me. I don't know how it works, but it comes back to me one way or the other. Maybe not financially, but a warmth in the heart knowing that I'm participating. And that's what you're trying to get people to understand.
Absolutely, and I think it's also very important to just increase the awareness, the knowledge, to educate, to understand the importance. And by giving back, not only are you helping yourselves, but you're helping the community. You know, we are just so honored that we have a host of honorary chairs who are supporting our efforts even more so. I mean, when you think about our own President and CEO, Ron Richard, we have Steve Mentor, we also have R.A. Vernon.
The former head of the Cleveland Foundation, Steve Mentor.
R.A. Vernon, Ernest Wilkerson, who's on our board. We have Deborah Green, who is our presenting sponsor for Medical Mutual, Margot Copeland, Carol Hoover, and Robert Madison, who I must mention, as you know, is an icon in and of himself. He's one of our donors, but he also is someone who is very purposeful in making sure how important it is to give back to our community.
Every one of those people you mentioned, I know personally, and I can tell you they are all, as we say, quality people, good folks. Let me put a phone number on the screen, 615-7199 in the 216 area code, or you can go to clevelandfoundation.org/AAPC. More information on everything we're talking about. And this is open, right? You want people to show up?
It is open, yes. We want them to register. As you just mentioned, you go to our website, www.clevelandfoundation.org, and the registration is very affordable. We're looking at $30 up to April 2nd.
It's a good deal.
Young adults
It's
up
a
to
good deal.
25.
It's a good
20.
deal.
So you can just come on and be part of it before we sell out.
Terry Eason, gift planning for the Cleveland Foundation. Justin Horton, wealth advisor, founding partner for Stratos Wealth Partners. Many thanks for being on the broadcast.
Our
Thank
pleasure.
you.
You warm our hearts simply by being here, talking about quality things. Taking a break, I'm Leon Bibb. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. Virtual Schoolhouse and Schoolhouse Academy works with students who are facing challenges in the traditional school setting. Its founder, Nikki Salfer, and Principal Michael Anderson are here to tell us more about the school and what it offers students. Nikki Salfer, right?
Yes, thank
you.
you.
Am I correct on the pronunciation?
Got it.
Yeah. And Michael Anderson is principal. Good to have you both with us.
Thank you.
Let me ask you, Nikki, what is the Virtual Schoolhouse?
It's a very unique school because it provides services to special education students in many different ways, all under one umbrella. So for example, we have services at our center. We service students in the home and hospitals. And you can also come to our center as a partial online, partial coming to school. So it's got the best of both worlds.
So we can go online, or
Right.
we can go to the schoolhouse
Right,
itself.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you can do a combined approach, which is a very new program here in Ohio called blended learning.
And Michael, you're the principal of the Virtual Schoolhouse.
First year principal at the Virtual Schoolhouse, yes, sir.
You are? Where are you located at?
We're located at 736 Lakeview Avenue in the heart of the Glenville community.
Tell me about the curriculum now. What's the calling card? What is it you're trying to do with this, with the school and the Virtual Schoolhouse?
Well, at Virtual Schoolhouse, we like to coin a phrase, we love, share, and care. So it's really about making a difference in the lives of the kids, and not necessarily just in the kids that we serve, but in the lives of the families that we serve, in the community that we serve as well.
Yeah. Your students, Nikki, I'm told they face a variety of challenges. How do you help them overcome those challenges in an educational setting?
Well, one of the exciting parts of our school is we're very diverse, and we have a lot of diverse challenges. So we're in the urban city. We have students that come from tremendous medical backgrounds. So we're servicing kids in the Cleveland Clinic, let's say in the cancer ward. We're also servicing special ed kids. It could be a kid with sickle cell anemia. It could be a kid in a wheelchair. There's a variety of challenges and a variety of diversity type of students that we service, and that's why we have multiple programs and multiple options. So you don't just have one option when you come to us. We try to blend the option that really fits best for that student.
I think that's intriguing that you're dealing with, you're servicing kids who are in hospitals, long-term hospital care. Their education can continue even though they're in a hospital setting.
Exactly, exactly. You know, it goes back to that love, share, and care. We're going to meet you where you're at, you know, regardless of where you're at, whether you're in a hospital, anywhere, you know, at any stage of your educational process.
What grades are we talking about, Mike?
K through 12.
K through 12?
And we're one of the only charter schools that work with K through 12 students as well.
It's the Virtual Schoolhouse, and then you were telling me earlier the Schoolhouse Academy, that's your elementary arm, correct?
Right, because the truth is the reason that we're set up for K through 12 is because a kid can get sick at any part of their school career. So we have to be able to service you at any time. And so we have a center that has an elementary part, which is K through 5, and a middle school and a high school. But if we're servicing you at home or in the hospital, it can be any grade. And I want to bring something up about the curriculum that you mentioned. We have an online curriculum so that if you're coming to the center and you're trying there and then you get too sick and you have to go home, you'll be using the same curriculum whether you come to the center or you're actually at home.
Michael, you're the principal there. How many kids are we talking about?
We're talking about 425 kids throughout our network. Center base, we have about 200. Homeschool, we have about 100. And we have 100 at some satellite programs that we have throughout the city.
Throughout the area here.
Yes.
And where do you draw from?
Mainly from all over Cleveland. You know, kids come to us from the west side, from the east side. We focus more in the Glenville area, you know.
Because you're located right there in the Glenville area. 736 Lakeview Road, that is just south of St. Clair, if memory serves me correct.
Yes, sir.
In the Glenville area there. How can parents get more information if they're interested in getting their kids enrolled?
Well, there's about 3 ways. They can visit us online at www.virtualschoolhouse.org. They can call us at 216-541-2048, extension 211. And we also have a radio show that we do from 6:30 to 7 o'clock every Tuesday on 1490 AM.
1490 on the AM dial?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, good. We'll listen for you over that. Leave us with a thought, Nikki, on why you think this is so vital to what you're doing.
I think a community is judged by servicing the most weakest students. And these are students that all the other schools are not necessarily running after, and these are the students that we have an opportunity to really be successful with. It's not about what challenge, it's about overcoming that challenge and creating a support system and a network to help you with that challenge. And that's the student at Virtual Schoolhouse that we want to serve. We want to help you through that challenge, and whether you continue to stay with us or you go on to any of the other schools, we want to make that difference in your life.
And Michael, you feel you are making that difference in the lives of these
Yes,
youngsters
you know,
and their parents as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It goes both ways. You know, I help them and they help me because, you know, I'm definitely getting something from it, you know, working with the kids and the families in that community. You know, it's about a learning community, not necessarily just trying to be a school in the community. It's holistic.
Virtualschoolhouse.org is the website, 216-541-2048, the Virtual Schoolhouse and the Schoolhouse Academy. Many thanks for being on the broadcast. Nikki Salfer, founder of the Virtual Schoolhouse, and Michael Anderson, the principal. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay right where you are. I'm going to take a break. This is Kaleidoscope. Right back with Marsha Maccabee, the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, in just a moment. The Morning Exchange meets Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, always with a comment. What do you think, Marsha?
Well, I'll tell you, what I think is that this is just such an interesting time in our community. We have a lot going on in terms of voters' rights and all of those kinds of things. And I just want to encourage our community today to know that these upcoming elections that are going to be coming up in November are some of the most important elections of all time. If we thought the last presidential election was important, this election coming up, this is going to be really critical because the kind of Congress that is in place has a lot to do with what can happen within our country. And so making the right choices and really understanding the candidates available and getting out there to vote is going to be critical.
In our final 20 seconds, you're telling that if a voteless people is a hopeless people.
Oh,
so
wow.
you've got to exercise the vote, right?
Absolutely. And we see what's going on in our country now. And I would just encourage our listening audience that this is a vote for saving the middle class.
Well, there you go. That's going to do it for us. Take care.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.